Everyone, it is Monday, March 12th, and if you feel like I do, I feel I was robbed an hour of my sleep, but we've got tips on how to use more of this daylight saving, and we're on Boxee. This is RVNN-Live, brought to you in part by Pet Hub and GoToMeeting.
Today's program brought to you by Pet Hub. Protect your pet for pennies a day with critical contact, medical, and dietary information on a smartphone scannable ID tag. And by GoToMeeting, affordable online meetings that work so you can do more and travel less.
Hey everyone, it is Courtney Wallen here at RVNN-TV, and of course I'm joined by Mr. Andy McCaskey.
Hey Courtney, I understand that this weekend you just had to back away from the keyboard.
I did, and I slapped my hand. If you're watching live, I did a little of this, and the reason is my laptop is maxed out, and I have not cleaned it yet, and so I slapped myself on the hand because it's
right.
It's
a little gentle reminder from time to time, like about every other day.
Yeah, every other day, and it still hasn't really sunk in. That will be on the list of things to do.
It's on the list.
It's on the list.
I am confident that it will be accomplished because it is on the list.
It is. And Andy, maybe the excuse is I was robbed an hour this weekend.
That's right.
I had one less hour. In that hour,
that's the hour that you had planned to clean everything up.
I've been told that I don't adjust well when things don't go. And when I lost an hour, my plans were just totally gone. So anyways, daylight saving time was this weekend. I've got some topics on how to utilize your extra hour a little, or more daylight, I should say. We don't have an extra hour, more daylight. And we've got an exciting announcement. Andy, why don't you go ahead and announce?
It's very simple. We are now on Boxee. And if you're not familiar with Boxee, it is a set-top box that allows you to connect the internet either wired or wirelessly into your TV. It's very similar to the Roku, has some extra capabilities, and we're really excited because not only is there the Boxee box, which is made by D-Link, but also there is a Boxee app for the iPad. So this means that RVNN is on a iPad. So anyway, lots of exciting stuff. And this was something you put on Google Plus, right?
Yeah, it was. It's an Instagram photo. Of course, when I take it with my Instagram app, my photo app automatically becomes a photograph, a professionally taken picture, and so that's what this is.
I see. Okay, this is a professionally taken picture. Okay, but you can see at the bottom right there, that little green glow, that's what the Boxee box does. When it's connected and it's happy, you got the little green Boxee face that comes up.
It is. And that it was happy, and it's happy to see that RVNN app, but we're happy to see it. Our faces, if you can't tell, our faces are also green. There's Andy's face is green. Actually, as I go back to that picture, there's a like there, and that like is from someone who we're familiar with. This is one of the guys from F5 Live, and I got a text from them last night saying that they opened our thank you card on air last night. I don't know if I shared that with you, so we might have to go back and watch that.
That's very cool.
Those guys, thanks for your support, and we appreciate that. So we're on Boxee. Very exciting. But Andy, we have a show called The Hookup where we like to tell people how to hook up, and you'll see more of those episodes in the near future. But we were at CES, and we had an interview. We didn't.
Well, actually, it turned out that every year over the past, Boxee's been there maybe 3 years, maybe 4, certainly 3 years. We go around and interview them. And it turned out that in 2011, I came by and was interviewing the Boxee people at the very moment when one of the tech podcast shows came up when I was on the show right behind it. So that was kind of fun. But this year, Jeffrey Powers came by and he had a chance to talk about a new accessory that Boxee is providing. The Boxee box provides the connection to internet delivered television, but they've got something new, and that's what Jeffrey was talking about this year.
Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here.
Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and we've got a really cool thing from Boxee, how to get regular on-air TV onto your Boxee.
CES 2012 coverage is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com. get 25% off their 4th generation hosting by using promo code CES2. Find more GoDaddy deals at tpn.tv.
Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here. We are at Showstoppers CES with the Tech Podcast Network, TPN, and of course me, Jeffrey Powers of Geekazine. We're here with Andy from Boxee. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. Hello everybody out there on TPN.
Now, you did an interview with Andy last year talking about the Boxee, which was a great interview, and we learned a lot about the Boxee box, and we got to see Andy on the big TV back there, and it was a lot of fun. But now you guys got a brand new little item right here that you just you debuted it a month and a half ago, but you haven't released it just yet. I almost dropped it. So
tell us careful with it.
Exactly. Tell us a little bit about this.
So actually, Andy and Todd, I think, have interviewed me every year since I've been here with Boxee.
Okay. So it's my turn.
So it is. It is. Yeah, just cycles like this.
Okay.
The idea for this was really, look, Boxee does a great job already of bringing in all the media you have at home, all the media that's out there on the internet. But there are things like live sports, local news, the Grammys, the Oscars, all these big events that haven't quite made it onto the internet yet. And so for us, this was the easiest way to bring all of that content into Boxee and essentially create a great alternative to cable for people who want to save some money each year.
Now, how is this different from me going on something like a buy site and purchasing something third-party TV tuner card?
So you can certainly do that, and what you do with that is you plug it into your computer, and then you're connecting your computer to your TV. For us, we really feel like Boxee gives you kind of a really nice all-in-one package that's easy to use. And what we can do with this, above and beyond maybe what a normal TV tuner can do, is we'll give you a guide where we give you everything that's on. We tell you more information about the show. Is it a new episode? Is it an old episode? Which season are you in? Which episode is it? And we also include social recommendations.
Okay.
So if you and I are friends on Facebook, we both have live TV, I can actually see what you're watching if you decide to share that information. And then hopefully that helps me figure out more about you. I trust you, and helps me separate all the crap that's on TV from what I actually want to watch.
Oh, okay. So the software then works on a PC, works on a Mac, works on Linux?
So the PC software, we just released the last version of it. Mm-hmm. So now we're really focused on the Boxee box, on our iPad app, on our iPhone app, and kind of building out that ecosystem. And this is specifically just for the Boxee box.
Oh, just for the box. So if I plug this into a laptop or a desktop, it won't work?
Correct,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, that sounds like a great plan. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, and of course we're going to get some price points of when it's going to be available right after this.
You want web hosting that is tough enough to stand up to any load, even the load that comes from covering an event like the Consumer Electronics Show. In 2011, we had over 35 million downloads, and we need to have robust server capacity for the coverage of 2012. We're going to be using GoDaddy 4GH hosting. In fact, we're going to have 9 servers in a cluster, and 4GH hosting gives us automatic load balancing and traffic management between them. In addition, each day it'll be checked for malware, and we'll be able to have protection at the server level and at the cluster level as well. You can try 4GH hosting, very economical, $4.99 to $9.99 per month at GoDaddy. And when you do so, look at the details on how 4GH hosting might meet your needs, and then use the code CES2. CES2 will give you a 25% discount for the entire year of 2012. And if GoDaddy puts things on sale, that is cumulative. Go take that first sale discount that you might find, then put the code CES2 for maximum savings. It's all 4th generation hosting, 4GH, at GoDaddy.com.
All right, so we now know the logistics. It's a great idea. I do have one more question for you. Why would I want to go through TV through the Boxee as opposed to the TV through the air? Well, besides what you've mentioned, is there one big real advantage off of that?
I think for a lot of people, it's just having everything in one place. So you've got live TV in the same menu that you've got your web browser, in the same menu that you've got your local movie files, in the same menu that you've got The Daily Show from ComedyCentral.com.
Okay.
It brings it all together into one nice, neat package, and there's no switching remotes or switching inputs on your TV.
Okay. Price point, the big question. What are we looking at?
It's definitely not going to break the bank. It's $49. One-time fee. There's no monthly fee like TiVo or some of the other providers that are out there. And the goal is you get this, you get the box, then it pays for itself when you reduce your cable bill or get rid of your cable bill altogether.
Which is what I did. And of course the Boxee box is?
$179.
Okay.
And available at Amazon.com and Best Buy.
And what's the availability on this one?
So this one you can pre-order right now from Boxee.tv, and it'll come out later this month in January. We're aiming for the 3rd week in January.
All right. Well, there you go. If you want to get TV onto your Boxee box, this is the little dongle to get. Andy, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, Jeff.
All right. Continuing coverage. We're going to be doing this all week long. We got a lot more videos coming, so check it out over at tpn.tv. This is Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine.com.
And of course, Jeffrey helps us out from time to time with different events, and all part of Tech Podcast. And as you know, some of our shows are on Tech Podcast Network, as well as being here on RVNN-TV. So we'll take a look at that as far as the audio and figure out what was going on with that. And you folks who actually see this, who are not seeing this live, won't even know what we're talking about,
No,
right? Right, Courtney?
Right. Right. That's the advantage of watching us live, is because you get to see these things that happen live.
That happened to us live.
Very, very live. All right. Well, I guess it's time for the 30 seconds.
Time
I'm
for 30
trying
seconds.
to bring up my beautiful picture one more time. All right. So just a reminder, we are on the Boxee. If you are a Boxee subscriber or have the set-top box, be sure to subscribe to our app. Yes. It's right there in the recently added right now. So we are very...
And you can sign up for free. You don't have to have a Boxee box. If you have an iPad, then you can bring your free account and watch us on the iPad.
It's so good. We've got so many good things. Of course, we have the RVNN Daily as well that comes out on Fridays. Be sure to subscribe to that. RVNN is now on Pinterest, and you can check out all of our shows. They each have a board. Lots of good stuff going on. I need to update this picture because most of those boards are filled by this point.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
We're also on Google+, so please circle us. Lots of great tech and geocaching news, more focused on that page. Lots of fun going on there. And, of course, we're on the Roku as well. We'd love it if you would subscribe, and not only subscribe, but give us a rating. We'd love to hear some feedback. And now this is a time where we give a little kudos to one of our sponsors, Pet Hub, and we've been advertising this great QR code pet tag for your little furry friends, and they've had a video contest, so we are going to let them explain what it is rather than us.
Cats and dogs, man's best friends. What would you do without them? What would they do without you? Pet Hub helps ensure your pets return to home using the latest technology. Simply take a picture of the tag with a smartphone and all of your pet's info is displayed. Pet Hub. Protect, share, nurture.
It is a great product, and you can save 20% off by going to pethub.com, placing your order, and putting in the code RVNN20. And I know your doggy has one.
Yes, absolutely. This is a great product, and not only depending on what level of service that you purchase, what membership level you have with Pet Hub, there's also veterinary insurance that can be included, so that if your animal is lost or strayed, happens to get in an accident, needs medical attention, when the Good Samaritan takes them to the veterinary clinic, the payment's already covered. So a great program, and don't forget you can get that 20% off by using the code RVNN20.
Great. They've got a new tag out, and I think we will be joined by Tom Arnold, the CEO of Pet Hub, here in the next week or two. Excited to talk to him. But now it is time for your RV Business headlines, brought to you in part by RVBusiness.com and RV Business Magazine. Andy, what do we got today?
Oh, well, a couple of things. You know, a lot going on in the news about fuel prices, and the effect has been that snowbirds, people who are down south that might be thinking about heading north for the winter or north for the summer, in the upcoming warm season aren't moving quite as quickly. And so what they have found is that winter visitors seem to be staying longer in places like Casa Grande, Arizona, partially because these high gas prices keep them from moving around. The general manager of Palm Creek Golf and RV Resort said that the longer stays are up by 20% this year. The people seem to come for longer periods of time, in fact stay 3 to 5 months. And one of the reasons is that this particular park, Casa Grande, is really kind of a small town, and there's a community feel. People get very involved in that community and just want to stay longer with their friends. This sense of community is a growing trend. And of course, they support a lot of their local businesses. They also pointed out that a lot of Canadians are a part of this community, and that, of course, Canadians are used to current prices well over $5 a gallon Canadian. So, think about that. You know, actually, though, most RVers, and particularly those who are attending a show in Pennsylvania, the York Campers World RV Show, said rising gas prices won't have a catastrophic effect. People who want to camp will find a way. Now, most gas-powered motorhomes average between 7 to 10 miles a gallon, but people are adapting. They're going for more streamlined, more aerodynamic RVs that have a little better gas mileage. They are sticking a little bit closer to home with the RV, and they are looking at lighter weight units for a couple of reasons. Number one, gas prices. Number two, some of the newer, more fuel-efficient vehicles can't tow quite as much weight as in years past. But the conclusion of confirmed RVers, it's still cheaper to use an RV and go camping than it would be to have hotel rooms on vacation. Plus, many campgrounds have lots of things for families to do, swimming, fishing, and of course, geocaching. We'll talk about that later. Finally, you know, we talked Friday about the Maine bill to have taxes on RV rental firms. It seems to have finally gotten some attention in the legislature, taxation committee. Apparently they passed a bill to study the matter. 10 to 1, and you have to wonder again, what are they thinking? It would seem like someone would look at this and say, whoops, and get that thing canceled by a close of business that day, but not the case. We'll see how that turns out. That's the news from RVBusiness.com.
Yes, it is. And if you're there on RV Business, of course, you're going to see a familiar logo there on the right-hand side. That is our interview with Ed Orzetti of Keystone and NTP. So be sure to check that out, too, while you're on RVBusiness.com. Andy, we've got a new show that's coming, and we are asking you, our audience, if this is something for you. It's called Travel Shop, and we want some response, right?
Yeah, exactly. So here's the deal on Travel Shop.
Do you have a great product or RV accessory? Pull out that flip cam or smartphone and get ready for RV Travel Shop on RVNN-TV. Make your own 5-minute infomercial and put it in front of thousands of people who've already said, I love RVing, on a set-top box that's already in over 3 million homes. Maybe you have real pitchman talent. Maybe you just show people what you've got. On RV Travel Shop, people can view your product video at any time for 30 days on the Roku video player. That's the same player Netflix uses to put movies on your flat screen TV, plus videos from major channels like Disney, Hulu, Pandora, NBC, and Fox, and Angry Birds. The same low-cost player that thousands more homeowners will add to their home this week. RV Travel Shop on RVNN-TV is a flat-fee, month-to-month contract with no special codes, no order tracking, and no paperwork or commissions. Contact us now, 1-877-578-7866, or by email, rvtravelshop@rvnn.tv.
And we've got a couple of great products already lined up for RV Travel Shop. And you know, that's not exactly correct now, because it's over 3 million homes, because just added Boxee.
Yeah, looks like you're going to have to get hard at work and
make a new promo.
Yeah, make a new promo.
Yeah, something
or we
like
can just
that.
follow it by that all the time.
So what's trending? What's going on? Courtney?
Lots of good stuff. Of course, we are all over the web. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, all those great places. We're finding out more and more places to be on. We will be there. Andy, like I've said 100 million times, when we don't plan together, the show goes best. And a lot of these items that I've chosen, a couple of them, especially our travel app of the day, all have to do with your business headlines. So I just thought that was interesting. First things first, on Twitter, of course, at RV Newsnet is where you can find us. I tweeted this out. If you're like me, I feel like I was robbed of an hour, and so now I need to make the best of it. 5 ways to make the most of extra daylight. So, Andy, when we get to work now, it'll be sunny, and when we leave work, it'll hopefully still be sunny. So this is good for those of you that work past 5, 6 o'clock at night, as most people do. They said share an hour. Gather up friends and family and head out for an evening at a hike or a local park. Capture the moment while you're outside. Why not try your hand at photography? So this could be a fun new hobby to take up while you've got a few extra hours. In the winter, after you get off work, not so much time to enjoy the outdoors. Surround yourself with beauty. Create and have a colorful butterflies, sweet-sounding birds by providing food, water, of course, your bird feeders, all that kind of stuff is what they're implying there. Lots of good things. Every time I've gone into Lowe's or any place like that, I've been veering towards the pet feed, or the bird feeders and things. It's here, but it's too cold. It's a little too cold yet.
Yeah, but this is when birds really need that support.
That is very true. From someone who hasn't had a bird feeder much before.
Yeah.
Maybe
Our trouble is our bird feeder turned into a squirrel feeder and or cat feeder. So there's a couple of different ways to look at it.
You're sharing the wealth there. And if, they say enjoy nightlife as well. When you're enjoying the nightlife, you can do sunsets, outdoor. I love bonfires and all those great things, especially when you're RVing. Your night is just extended that much more. And simply relax. Find your happy place outside and just enjoy it. And I noticed even last week, Andy, I mean, really, what was it, like a half hour more of daylight last week? We were kind of seeing more.
Exactly. And the screen porch is looking much more attractive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to be able to get out and enjoy that as well.
Exactly. We grilled out last week, which was great. And it probably wasn't as warm as we thought it was, but we did it anyways because spring is here. This is something I retweeted from the Travelettes. I actually retweeted something from them last week. Really great article. If you are an adrenaline junkie, this might be where you make your RV your
base camp.
Your base camp, and maybe no one else will join you on this, but maybe you'll have someone else. This is camping high above the ground. These are people just dangling from whatever spot they attach to while they're climbing. Now, Andy, this looks insane and incredible all at the same time. I mean, the experience would be unlike anything else. Yeah. However, if you have been known to fall off the bed,
rolling out of bed is probably not something that you want.
This makes my hands a little sweaty. Yikes!
Yes.
Just looking at it. But this is incredible. I honestly have never heard of anything like this.
But only between $250 and $700 U.S.
Yikes! But look at that, Andy. How cool!
Yeah, a couple of these look like they might have potential.
Look at this.
That one, I think that's got to be some Photoshop going on there.
Yikes. So that was just really fun. I really, really like that article. Like we said, your RV is your base camp, and maybe others will join you, maybe others won't join you for this event.
Exactly.
But maybe something to put on the bucket list.
Right. Unless Darwin Award is on, unless Darwin Award's on your list somewhere.
Exactly. So,
what else you got here? We've got something called from MSNBC, huh?
This is something I didn't put on Google Plus because if you are aware, Bing is a competitor of Google. But this is the editor's picks from Bing. Best places to research or to find out more places to do. Andy, I would have to. There's one thing that's missing on this list, and that would be RVNN-TV. I think next year we will be on Bing's editor's choice. But this is just a great list of compiled websites that will help you plan your road trip. So you've got Road Trip America, TripCart, TravelKitty.com, Rand McNally, of course, Best Road Trip Planner, Road Road Trip USA, Road Trip Nation, Road Food, one of our favorite sites here at RVNN-TV, Motorcycle Travel Online, motorcycle-travel.net. Of course, a lot of people are doing the toy haulers and bringing their motorcycles along as well. And then, of course, GoRVing.com being the big one. And so these are great websites. I think Bing did a really nice job of highlighting some really great sites, and we wanted to bring those to attention to you so you can utilize those for planning your summer and spring road trips. So that is on our Facebook account, and of course you can go to facebook.com/RVNewsNet. Now this next one is something I put on Google+. This is Hike a National Park Without Leaving Your Home. Now Andy, once you see what I'm talking about, you will leave your home because this is an app that is from Trailview. Now Trailview is a part of Nature Valley. If you are a big granola bar eater, as I am, Nature Valley is one of my favorites, and they put together this Trailview program.
So this is like a Google Maps or
exactly
for hiking.
But for hiking, and it's only for 3 parks right now. But if you're not able to get there, or if you're thinking about going there, this is a way to view the trail before you get there. So they've got Grand Canyon is one of them, the Great Smoky Mountains, which I'm going to in a couple of weeks here, and Yellowstone. So you can pick a trail, hit autoplay, and the surrounding scenes shift as you move down the trail.
Just like Google Street Maps.
Yes.
Except it's for trails.
Yeah. So
wow.
I thought that was pretty cool. Check it out. And, of course, it is called Trailview. I could click on this little link here that would probably take me to the exact site here. This is naturevalleytrailview.com is where you can find out more. So pretty cool. Something new. It was posted about 3 days ago, so I would assume it's fairly new still.
Yes.
Yes. Now,
beautiful.
This is the part where Courtney gets a little bitter and she begs. Talking in third person now. Pinterest. Andy, you've got the golden touch. You've got to teach me this. Andy posts something this weekend, and I'm doing all this research and trying to find things that would be really cool for you guys, and I'm getting a few courtesy repins, and then Andy just posts something. 37 repins, and my email's blowing up, and I'm thinking, what has he pinned now? And it's this. It's Yosemite National Park, which is on our geocache radar. Tell us about it.
It is, well, of course, this whole particular area surrounding Patterson, California, which is a town that I had never heard of before, but it's in the Yosemite area, and there's just all sorts of things going on there. And of course, a very active area as far as geocaching is concerned. But that was just a beautiful, beautiful photograph that I think is actually sourced to the National Park Service.
It's a very beautiful picture. And look at all this. Repin. And then I get down to the bottom of this long list of repins and 28 more repins. Andy, you've got to teach me the secret here. So beautiful pictures is what we get. So check us out on Pinterest, of course. That's on our geocache radar board. This is something that I pinned, of course, begging for courtesy pins on this one. But this was kind of cool. It's foil packs. This is my favorite way to eat on the campfire. There are some foil pack recipes. It's simple. It's healthy when you're RVing. This is, honestly, this is my favorite way to cook on the campfire. You put a bunch of stuff. We call it a mess. And there's the rest. You can't mess it up because it's never the same. You just throw a bunch of stuff in a foil pocket or on a skillet, and you just put it on the campfire, and it is so good.
Well, and it's something you can prepare in advance if it's a weekend kind of trip.
Absolutely. Yeah. So foil packs. This is on our RVNN-Live board. Be sure to check it out. Like I said, courtesy pins are always really welcome. Makes me feel good. Give myself a little pat on the back for that. All of that, of course, is our social media headlines for the day. And if you have any questions, comments, or something you want to send me, cw@rvnn.tv is the way to do it. Now, Andy, like I said, coordinating, we don't usually do together.
Right, but it looks like we did.
It looks like we did. So I gave away our secret that we don't, but we're just that good that it still works. Today's travel app of the day is Cost to Drive. Now, you might be familiar with Cost to Drive because they do have a website, costtodrive.com. You can put in where you're going, where you're at. Obviously, it's going to calculate your fuel costs and make the drive a little bit you can plan a little bit better financially or realize if it is or isn't for you. Now, the best part about this is now that they have an app for your iOS devices. And Andy, this is awesome. The app itself, I said, is a little ironic because it actually costs for the app. The app is $2.99, or not, excuse me, $1.99. It's a $1.99 app, but you can put in your car. It knows how big your tank is. It's going to say how many times, in real time, it's going to know what the gas prices are, which we are all extremely conscious of right now because gas prices are almost $4 here in Indiana. We know on the West Coast they're at $5. This is real time going to calculate your fuel costs, and I'm going to flip over yours here.
And I've just done that on a trip from that I'm quite familiar with from Indiana down into the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. $116, 599 miles. Carbon footprint, that's interesting as well. And that's set up for that particular, and of course now it's, and it figures in the current gasoline prices.
Yes. And the best part, Andy, is that you can add your custom vehicles, your RVs, your motorcycles, anything else. You can add up to 5 vehicles for easy comparison. So like we said before, let's say you're RVing, which you can put in there, and you have a Class A, you can put that in there. If you are towing, you can put those in there. And then if you have a toy hauler, which you're towing your motorcycle or things like that, you can also calculate all those little details. And Andy, here is a really cool part. They have an integration with Kayak. If you don't know what Kayak is, that is a Kayak. It calculates your miles for traveling, or your flight miles, and how much it's going to cost, which we all know the bill that was passed now that they have to put in taxes and everything. The price that you're getting is the price that you'll be paying without anything else added on. They are going to show you what it would cost to fly versus your road trip. Now, Andy, sometimes that might come up a little bit more expensive to drive, but then let's add the hotel costs.
Oh, you've got hotel, you've got parking, you've got tolls. There's, in fact, that's one of the things that's lacking in this analysis right here is you're going to easily add another $20-25 in tolls. Going that particular route that they recommended there. But what a great tool for planning a vacation.
It is. It's great. And I was really glad to see this. This is one of the top travel. I mean, this has been on the Today Show, all kinds of good stuff. Again, like I said, it's a $1.99 app, well worth the investment, especially with the camping season is right amongst us. So check it out. And it is only for iOS devices, but if you have a Droid or a BlackBerry or a Windows Phone, anything that can access the internet, they've got the website. So you just go to costadrive.com. Of course, the website doesn't have all the little features, but you know what? I assume it'll come soon for Droid and the other.
You know what else you could do?
What?
With your iOS device? You could participate in an online meeting.
Oh,
GoToMeeting.
That was so good.
Yeah, because the premier way to have productive business meetings over the internet is GoToMeeting, and it's a very affordable single fee. You pay a low fee each month, and then you can meet as often as you want for as long as you need. And the good news is if you go to GoToMeeting.com and click on the Try It Free button, which has kind of disappeared. It's around there. So, oh, there it is, orange now.
It's orange now.
The orange Try It Free button, and put in the code PODCAST, PODCAST. You will get a free 30-day trial of GoToMeeting. Affordable meetings that work.
Absolutely. And now it's time for the show that makes our Pinterest board go crazy. Geocache radar. Anything you want to preface before we look at it?
Well, those of you who are just joining us, geocaching is the hobby of using a GPS device or smartphone to go out and look for treasures that have been hidden. In fact, there's over 1.5 million of these that have been hidden throughout the world. It's great family activity because you can choose the difficulty and the terrain to solve the puzzle. And that means that if you've got little kids with you, you can find things that are maybe a little bit easier. And if you've got older teenagers or young adults that enjoy a strong physical challenge, then that can be adjusted as well. So what we've done is we take a look at what's on our geocache radar today, and turns up it's in California.
Hey, it's Geocache Radar, episode GCRD 111-1. Today's cache is near Patterson, California. It used to be known as the apricot capital of the world. While you're in the area, you could go to Pacheco State Park. The park contains about 7,000 acres, although only 2,600 are open to the public. The eastern two-thirds of the park is closed due to an underdeveloped trail system and safety concerns over the numerous wind turbines in the area. It's a part of the Rancho San Luis Gonzaga, a 48,000-acre Mexican land grant. Or you could head to Yosemite National Park, a truly majestic place. No wonder why Ansel Adams took so many photographs here. Or wilderness areas in Stanislaus National Forest. You can fish in over 800 miles of rivers and streams and stay in a campground or hike into the backcountry seeking pristine solitude. You can swim near a sandy beach or wade into a clear, cool stream, cooling your feet lost in the beauty of nature. Or raft the exciting Tulumna River or canoe on any of the gorgeous lakes. All within easy driving distance of today's cache. Terrain of 1.5, a difficulty of 1.5. Today's cache is GC25BC0, Tulumna and Stanislaus. Take a break at the boulder, look down, and be careful of the bushes. And check out the two flags in the center and the bricks. It is a green plastic pill bottle. There was $1 for first to find. Who knows what's in there now? Approximate coordinates, 37 degrees north, 34 minutes, 120 degrees west, 59 minutes. For full details, go to geocaching.com, the official global GPS geocache hunt site. For show notes on the cache, go to rvnewsnet.com/geocache radar. Information is believed to be valid at the time of production, but conditions may change. Use common sense and caution, and do not trespass. Keep geocaching a fun and family RV activity. Geocache Radar is a production of RV Newsnet and RVNN-TV, and is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here.
You know, that first to find is a really big deal in the geocaching world, and in fact people have to be cautioned to make sure that when they place a cache that it's actually in place on the ground.
Yes.
Because once it's announced and the word spreads via Twitter or other communications means, it could turn out to be really embarrassing if you show up and there's 3 or 4 other people there waiting for you as you're hiding it.
Aren't they called hounds? First to find hounds?
First to find hounds, yes.
So,
Release the hounds, as Mr. Burns would say.
Yeah. Well, we've got some great shows coming this week. We'll be recording live, of course, on Wednesday and on Friday. We've got Geocaching World tomorrow evening at 6:30. But subscribe to your favorite shows, whether it be on iTunes. We have got RSS, of course, on the website as well. We've got a show from What's Wrong with This Picture being released this week. It's part of our DSLR series. We're going to teach you about the buttons on that very expensive camera that you've just bought and how to utilize them to the best of your ability when you are road tripping. And then we're going to have an episode of Tales from the Road where we talk about wellness exams and early detection, which is a good thing to be on top of when you're taking your pet out of its comfort zones, out of home. Or maybe your RV is your home. Taking them to different environments.
Yeah, different environments, and the door opens and you're like in an entirely different place.
Yes. So great shows coming up. Be sure to subscribe to those. You'll be alerted when they are posted. That is all for today. Be sure to join us on Wednesday, and really be sure to download that Boxee app.
Oh,
right?
And the other thing is Geocaching World. Tomorrow evening, we should have special guests here in the studio. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be at 6:30 Eastern. So please keep track of the time, even though it may be a little later than usual. Keep track of the time and join us. It's going to be a fun show.
It is, absolutely. That's all for today. I'm Courtney Wallen.
Yep. Andy McCaskey from RVNN-TV. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Today's show is brought to you by Angie's List, where you'll find thousands of unbiased reports and reviews about service companies in your area. Whether you're looking for a roofer, plumber, house cleaner, dentist, or even a doctor, Angie's List members share their experiences with each other so that you can choose the service company that's right for your job. Companies can't pay to be on Angie's List, and the reviews come from people just like you who have had experience with the companies mentioned. To find out more, go to RVNN.TV and click on the Angie's List ad.